We're here from Studio 3 in NFT NYC. We got a crew here. We want to talk a little bit about, recapping the week. Also share a little bit about the One Love Art DAO, Chromaverse, and just kind of talk a little bit about our experiences. We'll start off with an introduction. First, let's go to Huda Saka.
So I'm Huda Saka. I'm a Colombian artist. I like to mix both realities, traditional art and digital art through augmented reality.
My name is Daniel Pigar. I'm from Puerto Rico. I'm a sculpturalist, all-around artist, digital artist, physical artist, and owner of Labyrinth World LLC.
Hey, I'm Jenny Pepin, also known as Siren AI. I'm an AI artist. I am a collector, curator, and community builder. I am the co-founder of the One Love Art DAO. Happy Saturday, everybody.
Woo! Giancarlo Sanchez, artist, collector, also a Spaces podcast host together with Jenny on Web3 Artist Spotlight, where we spotlight artists in the space. Also a proud member of the One Love Art DAO as well. And turn it over to Carolina.
Yay, thank you guys for being here. Welcome to New York City. We're here in Station 3, the Web3 hub of New York with this amazing community. My name is Carolina Cotto. I'm a model, I'm an actor, I'm the founder of Bon Bruja, and I'm just so grateful to be here with the community.
Yeah, so hi guys, I am Yu Zapata. I'm a graphic designer and artist. I am the founder of Active Studio, a sustainability and creativity company based in Colombia. And I'm the creator of Palometa the Pigeon. Good to be here.
Awesome. Palometa. Look, representing right there with the Palometa hoodies and the Palometa on the phone as well.
Yeah, we're taking over.
Taking over NYC. Let's go.
Every screen, every corner.
That's right. All right, so Bella, you want to kick us off?
Yeah, absolutely. I feel like New York, NFT NYC this year was just so invigorating, and one of the reasons I felt that way was because I feel connected, I feel seen by you guys, by the community, by Latino America, by what drives us forward. And I was so shocked and surprised at the same time to see One Love DAO everywhere. But it wasn't just the presence of it, it was the energy, like from your art, to your beautiful smile, to you like taking photos with everybody in the crowd, to it's just like this thing that it's like unspoken. So I was so curious. I'm like, can you guide us maybe like the origins of it? What was the idea? What is the message and the intention behind, and how that brought you guys here together?
Sure, awesome. Okay, so the way that it started is actually a pretty funny story. We were all, so by all I mean the founders, so that would be Sarkis, Chaz, Luca, and myself. We were all members of like many DM groups on Twitter, like so many of us, right? Mm-hmm. And to be honest with you, we were kind of tired of getting the exact same posts, very much like all the shill, repeat. And we were like, wouldn't it be cool if we could just consolidate this into one group? And it would be good because this way we're all in one central hub and we could all support each other's tweets. We could all better connect. We could bring collectors into this chat. We could, make some real synergy. And so we did that. And I created the group. I started going group by group and just bringing everybody in together. And pretty soon, the vibe in there let us know that we had accidentally hit something and created something that was going to be like a game changer for all of us.
Oh my God,
happy to say, I'm proud to say that as of right now, I think we have somewhere in the ballpark of like 500 people inside of our Discord and around 260 active DAO members. And so I think it's important to first maybe define what a DAO is, because to be perfectly honest with you, I didn't even know what a DAO was. So what I saw us as was an artist collective, just a group of people like-minded who wanted to support one another. But once the concept of what a DAO is and how it's decentralized and how it democratizes and makes even more fair a group of people who are trying to basically accomplish the same goals, I was like, okay, this is brilliant. And so every DAO member has the ability to create proposals in our Discord. Every DAO member gets to vote on proposals. Basically, every DAO member has an equal say on anything from how we manage our wallet funds that we accumulate the direction, the initiatives, the things that we want to be a part of. So I feel like it's really keeping in the spirit of Web3 and in Bob Marley's vision of unity and one love, and that's basically what it is. And I'm blessed to see that we have this opportunity now. Yeah.
Wow. Oh my God. Thank you. I have so deep admiration, right? Because organizing is never easy, and you're such a leader in the space, and bringing everyone together, creating that chat, that date, that group to a DAO. That's like, it's a beautiful step forward. So like, can anyone join the DAO? Like, how is it? Can you guide us? Maybe you're there watching. Like, wait, I love One Love. Like, I jam to that. I love these people. Do they just go to the Discord, or is there anything they need to do?
Yeah, essentially, if there are people who don't like Discord, I totally get that. I was one of
I'm
them.
actually kind of one of them as well.
I was one of them.
Still one of them.
Yeah. I just go occasionally when I need to, and I get right back out.
Right. Well, so I think I got burned like 2 years ago. Like, I got scammed on Discord. So I think that sort of made me like Discord averse. But in reality, once I gave it a shot, and now I'm helping to actually manage it on a day-to-day basis, I actually really like it. I think it's a great tool for us to sort of get together, do all kinds of stuff in there. So yeah, that would be the easiest way. On the One Love Art DAO Twitter page, there's a link to the Discord. You can click that, join, see if you like the vibe. If that's something that you want to be a part of, there is an application form. It's a simple Google form, ask you basic questions. And then we take that every week, the new applications. We put a vote in the Discord, and the members then vote that person in. It's just for security reasons, because we're all about inclusivity, but we just want to make sure that the person isn't like a bully or isn't like some kind of bot with some kind of bad intentions. And once the community votes for them, you're usually onboarded within the week, which means that you're also onboarded immediately onto the Hugs collective page for One Love. Yeah, and right away you can create a proposal, decide if you want to make a group space, if you want to collaborate with other artists in the group. There's so many resources in all of those channels, so we definitely encourage you to check it out. But if you're not into Discord, there are 2 Twitter chat groups. We maxed out the first one at 200, and I think the other one's around 60, so you can also join us on Twitter.
Well, I'm definitely joining, bringing all those good vibes, Pura Vida vibes. So thank you so much for guiding us through that. It's amazing.
Pura Vida vibes.
Pura Vida.
Yeah.
Yes, they're coming.
And I think one of the really cool things about One Love is then that you get to collaborate. And like, I think one of the most tremendous, impactful collaborations that One Love has been able to do is with these 2 gentlemen right here. And so maybe you guys could talk about Expo Chromaverse, how Expo Chromaverse was created, and some of the experiences that you've had collaborating as One Love members and Expo Chromaverse.
All right, so Expo Chromaverse was basically founded by Yu Zapata and Maria Paula Alzate, who are fellow artists. And basically what we were creating was a space for us to showcase our art and of course our friends as well. But it also wanted to create an expo that mixed both worlds. Traditional, since we're traditional artists, with all this digital craziness that we talk about and we call Web3. So simplifying that and allowing people to go to an exhibition and like an expo, which also had VR and allowed people to kind of know what that was. It was interesting. We did surveys and we found out that most people had never tried on VR headsets. And once we found that that was maybe something cool that allowed this conversation to spark up, we basically created Chromaverse, and it's been great. Even last year we had the opportunity to go to Costa Rica. Why don't you tell us a little bit about that, Jufo?
Yeah, we already have some experience with the Chromaverse and been growing every year. We started at how do we call like an old-fashioned bookstore in Bogota. That was really cozy, a really cool space where they sell coffee, when you have like read different kind of books. And we're like, this would be like a really cool place to make an exhibition here, but we want to make it like in another level. So we bring the VR glasses, we bring all the NFT knowledge, and also we did a conference speaking about the NFTs to the assistants. So it's really cool to have this different place where you are not normally learning about technology, but there we were making our panel. We did it with into a special the VR gallery too, so people could connect all around the world. People connected to that panel, but they didn't understand anything because we were speaking Spanish. And everybody was like, oh, okay, I'm out. But yeah, after that we did 2 more in Colombia, 2 or 3.
Yes.
And then we got a call from our friend Danny Munoz in Costa Rica. He's a beautiful artist, he's an amazing person that wanted to make Promoverse at the biggest event of Web3 in Central America. That was Blockchain Jungle, that's where we meet. So we bring like everything, like all the vibes, all the vibes to the city, to the convention center.
San Jose.
The San Jose Convention Center is an amazing place. So we had like that event had like 5,000 people. So it's one of the biggest conferences so far. And yeah, that's where we meet, and that's when we started. We exhibited together. We did a takeover over there, and that's kind of our first international conference.
Amazing.
In 1 year.
Yeah, in 1 year you guys have accomplished so much, and I was curious to get maybe your insights on the importance of onboarding and educating people in Latin America.
That's really important because normally we don't have so much information about Web3, like clear information, easy information in Spanish.
Yeah.
So it's a really good way to make it more international when you speak it in English, but people in Spanish it's kind of difficult to ask questions. You feel kind of dumb asking a question, even if it's not in your language. Now imagine in Spanish, you're like, okay. So it's really cool, and I think we made it really easy. We tried to make it as easy as possible, like with the normal, like more basic terms. We speak about plata, like money.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
it's a really good way to
simple.
learn those concepts into some terminal space, that I will say.
Awesome. Did you want to?
Yeah, I mean, I'm big on that, just translating. I feel the vocabulary for Web3 is so confusing. Like, we were at this expo, the first one we did in Panama, and they were doing jokes about Satoshis.
Yeah.
And everyone's laughing, and you just laugh.
Yeah.
So I go to UFO, I'm like, yo, what's Satoshis? And he's like, oh, it's like the division of Bitcoin. And I thought back and I said, yeah, that was actually a good joke, but now I got it. It took me a bit. And that was at an NFT expo, so it's like, I'm supposed to know this.
Yeah.
But I realized that people, they're not interested in all this weird technology, and weird terminology. So by translating these terms into just like the regular things that we do, I feel that we have eased the process of people onboarding and understanding and making it easy for them, because you don't want to do all these steps to get a wallet. You don't want to do all these steps to buy an NFT. You don't want to do all these steps to understand what's a blockchain. Who cares? All they want to do is they want to buy something. They want to
buy a piece of art.
They want to buy a piece of art. They want to, I don't know, they want to support some program, whatever they want to do. And we don't do that when we pay for gas. Imagine how annoying that would be. It's like, oh, do you have your data? No. Oh, download it. Write down these 12 phrases. It's crazy. So we try to make it easy for them, and I feel that's what we've been doing, and I feel that's why Promoverse has that. Like, people like it. It's like it became like a homey thing, in the sense that people understand it's not complicated. I feel that's what we've been doing.
Yeah, I think anywhere where you can reduce like friction points is super duper important, and I think that the fact that you guys offer AR, it's an immersive experience. It catches people's eyes, and you do it. So just for people who've never played around with the AR art that Hulasak and Yusupata make, it's actually right on Instagram, which is brilliant because everybody knows Instagram. Everybody knows how to access those filters, and you're right on an application where it's easy to record that, put it on stories, and then further get that visibility. So I think that's genius, and I think it's very interface user friendly. So I think Expo Chromaverse does that. I think the way that you create art does that. And I think we in One Love really resonate with that as well, because a lot of communities in the Web3 space, for lack of a better words, and I'm doing air signs, aren't actually. And the reason I'm saying that is because they are very much designed behind the model of token gating. And we don't really believe in that. Like, we definitely believe in having a safe space and making sure that we don't just let anybody in, but we definitely believe that wherever possible, whenever possible, people should have access to this community, access to one another, access to the same resources, because that really is supposed to be the ethos of Web3. So I think we've hit on all of those points in one way or another through what we're doing. Did you want to maybe transition
so
into,
So I think, we did, touched on One Love. Thank you, Jenny, for covering that, and you guys talking about Chromaverse. It's now Saturday, week of NFT NYC. We're all a bit tired, but hungover. I've been tired as hell. Thankfully, last night, got some sleep, so I'm feeling a little bit more rested today. But it's been quite a week. And I would love to first get a little bit of the, overall impressions from the group. What you guys thought the week was like. Any standout moments, any standout experiences? You guys, maybe, Gato, you can start us off. What were the vibes for you like this week, and what stood out to you?
I really feel like it was the global impact. Like, they kept saying, like, NFT NYC is a global community, right? And I think like that's what really resonated. Like, the fact that you guys have flights literally in a few hours and you're here with us sharing your time, to me that's precious, like, God, like, people don't understand what it is to like take a flight and get somewhere, and like everything there is to get to a conference. There's such a big journey, and I understand it. Like, I'm from Costa Rica, I came here, so like seeing that, like, you can feel it. There's someone from Iran, then I met someone from like Cyprus, like this amazing artist. So it's like this truly has become that global community, and just being here with you guys sharing this precious time literally is, to me, like the takeaway.
Yeah, that's awesome. I love that. Daniel, what about for you, man?
Yeah, it's been an amazing experience. Just like every year, I honestly came to further my own ambitions and career as an artist and as a owner of Web3 LLC. We touched about this earlier. I'm really big on onboarding and showing people how to enter the blockchain and get into Web3 without even using the word NFT. I use a lot of smart contracts. I use a lot of reverse psychology and get people to actually want something, and then tell them, by the way, I can create this NFT for you. You can sign up with your email. You can also, whatever questions they have or whatever doubts they have, especially when, is that safe? Will I be losing my things? Well, no, we can set up a multi-sig wallet. Even we did this together, which is a dope thing that I thought, and I preach about this a lot, was when we collaborated. They're from Colombia and Puerto Rico. There's two different currencies.
Yeah.
But there's one wallet that we just all put together. We can all share the funds, buy whatever it is that we needed to buy, so people could actually participate with our artwork from wherever it is in the world. And I thought that was really cool. That really opened up my eyes to what multi-sig was, and actually how to onboard a community that wanted to get into the artwork and wanted to say it's earlier, because we lead by example. Like, a lot of people want to do what we do. They want to create murals, they want to create NFTs, they want to just do art. And then they come up to us and they ask us how we can do that. And that's really the opportunity for us to say, not only can you become an artist, and this is how you create art and you further your career, well, now you can have this technology that will support and give you leverage when making deals, when licensing, copyright rights that you have. So it's been an amazing experience in that sense, and then plus I get to see my boys again, and all the Latin
Hang out together.
It's been good food, good times. I mean, I've had an amazing time so far.
What's been the best food so far? This
Pizza
week?
all day.
All day.
It doesn't matter what, as long as it's triangle, it's got pepperoni on it.
Last night we were walking back, from the Blue Studios, and then we saw this place that earlier had like a line out the door, and the place was kind of empty. I'm like, guys, like we gotta go in there. That pizza was the bomb.
Did you know it was pizza before you went in?
I think, yeah.
We saw it.
We saw it. People even, like, we're already walking out, like, eating.
I don't know, but there was a line.
Yeah. I don't know, I'm just gonna make the line. I don't know what it's for, I'm just gonna go there. But anyhow, no, that's awesome, man.
Well, I had a hell of a week. Like, Monday we had the One Love at the Oculus, so that was amazing. It was an amazing experience. I loved the way the artwork was shown. They still have the WIM screen, so that was amazing. It was beautiful, the curation, everything. I don't know, I loved it. And my artwork was always right next to Yusabata, so it was like, you know, we're hanging out. He wasn't here on Monday. He was not here on Monday, so yeah.
And then like you just trending with folks.
Yeah, of course I
House
have.
all the time. Like,
But is it cool? Is it? And I'm like, yo, it's the greatest thing. And he's like, no, oh my God. And then he couldn't come that day, but we were there. Luca was there with us, so that was cool.
He was there in spirit, you know.
Oh, of course he
always
was. Of course he was. Then on Tuesday, we had also a great day. What you do on Tuesday?
On Tuesday, we had the Hulk Fest. I was invited to paint live at the Hulk Fest. That was really amazing.
Yes.
He had a cool interview.
This week for me has been like amazing. I feel really blessed, like for all the love that I brought from my parents, my wife, my brothers, my friends, everybody like sent me really good energy to come here. The first day I arrived, I had an interview with Andy Zuckerberg. Then I painted live. Then went to Times Square and see my palometa displayed in one of the streets.
Super was
Dream come true after dream come true.
Yeah, man. Then I went next day, first day of NFT NYC. Before that, we went to the Javits Center to NFT NYC and they had a surprise for us. You can tell
Yusabata, I'm like, yo, we have to go see Cameron because we have a gift for them. And shout out to Cameron and Joey and Sam. They were so nice.
Big shout out to you
Thank you
guys.
guys.
They were super nice during our stay in NFT NYC. So we were looking for them and we couldn't find them. You know, it's the inauguration day. So there's a bunch of people there. And then Yusabata, and I see him, he turns around and looks at me, he's awed, you know, and I was like, what happened? And I see that they did a recreation, I would say, or I don't know, they recreated our mural. They printed out our mural we did a mural in Bogota a couple of weeks ago about NFT NYC, so it's just us two like hanging out there with our characters, and they had it there at the Javits Center. So that was probably the highlight of NFT NYC. But it wasn't. I say probably because then we had, of course, NFT NYC on Wednesday. That was super cool. I mean, seeing the artwork of everyone's stuff there and meeting our friends and hanging out, super cool. We saw a bunch of people speak. I think you spoke on Wednesday. Jenny had her speaker panel on Wednesday, and then you didn't speak last year, did you?
I did. It was a solo one.
You spoke last year.
Yeah, I did. It was solo, and this time it was really, really cool because the other three speakers were just like literally the wisest, just very innovative, really knew a lot about AI in real world applications. And I was moderating the panel and I had to like remind myself that I wasn't in the listening audience because I was so enamored and so entranced by the other three and the knowledge, the amount of like wisdom that they were just saying. I was like, oh, that's right. I have another question I have to ask you, and keep it going. It was a good panel, super educative, and I think it was received well. I got a lot of feedback from the crowd, so that was cool.
Yeah, I was there. It was fantastic, and Jenny doesn't give herself enough credit.
Right.
Oh my gosh.
Jenny, you're a rock star right there with those other people as well. And I look back at like your journey and like all the stuff you've done this last year, all the things you've been able to start, with One Love DAO, like your artwork. I mean, getting, like you're crushing it. Yeah.
NYC.
Yeah. And
It's true.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
Miami, she helped do an expo for the community as well, and then now being at the Oculus Gallery, in the same gallery where Hugfest had all these other artists exhibited as well. I mean, that's no small feat. And Jenny did a lot of that work, herself, and her and Sarkis did a great job, curating all the artwork as well. So, wanted to give her some props. Yeah, really go unnoticed. Yeah.
Oh, thank you guys. Yeah, I think if I had to say the highlight for me was probably that exhibition. I mean, I really enjoyed everything, so it's so hard for me to even like choose what was like my highlight of the week, but the ability for me to curate 120 artworks and artists and have those friends of mine, because I genuinely mean that, like every individual person I have some kind of a relationship with, they get to now say that. They get to proudly say that their art was exhibited at the Canvas 3.0 gallery. For people who are building their like artistic CV, like every little moment matters, and I was just happy to facilitate that. So
Yeah, and what's cool was also the Atomic Forum, partnership as well, right?
yeah, absolutely. So I had come to hear about them through other people in the space. They actually had a vendor booth at NFT NYC, which was great because they were able to further spread their vision for what it is that they're doing. But basically, what they're doing is they're bringing proof of exhibition into our space, because so many exhibitions are happening. Some people can claim that they were exhibited somewhere, and we don't actually know them. So what this does is it adds like another layer of provenance
I love that.
to exhibitions, and so
I didn't even know about it before.
yeah,
Yeah,
so just so you guys know, pretty soon, well, that's why they reached out to you, because they know that you guys are doing Expo
I have a meeting with them next week.
Yes,
And
they told
it's
me.
not only proof of exhibition, also any proof you want to add. So I asked them, like, I have a palometa that is inspired by Homelander, the character from The Boys, and Anthony Starr wrote a tweet about it, like, put your gloves on, something like that.
Yeah.
And that tweet, I can add it to
Yes.
as part of the NFT, so it's really cool. You can add
Yep.
many things to the NFT. It's really nice thing.
It's so cool.
Does
Like,
that mean like say you had your NFT exhibited in Times Square, right? And then you had it in the campus. Do you keep track of those places?
Yes.
So you can be like, oh yeah, it was actually there. And
yes,
people can see like the provenance of it. Oh, that's amazing.
literally log
I
in.
never heard of that.
Yeah, it's cool.
I found out about it this week. Yeah.
Wow.
no idea.
Yeah, so like I got a
I'll set up
walkthrough.
for you next week.
Yes, no, I'm like,
Everybody's gonna be like, all right, let's go. Yeah.
yeah, for our
Yeah,
artists,
makes
we're
sense.
all artists.
Yeah.
You know? That's what it's amazing. Like we create, but we are also collecting. It's like
Yeah,
so like it works.
But is it like a pro app or is it
No,
like
no,
more
so
bar
you
or-
log in, it's like a .io type of an
Oh,
account,
nice.
right? And they did a walkthrough for me, so on March 8th, one of my pieces of art was exhibited in Times Square. So I said, well, technically, that is an exhibition of my art. I would
Yeah.
like to have that live permanently, like as a point of reference. So they have fields, you have to put in like blockchain information for that token. You do that, it saves it, it recognizes it quickly. All of the metadata gets kind of pulled into it. Then I put the date, where it was exhibited, who was exhibiting it, which was Women in Tech Museum. Shout out to Vanessa Kamakaru, love you sis. And then, like Ju said, you could take a tweet. So I took my pinned tweet, which was me saying, my IO is being exhibited on March 8th. Put that all in there, hit the button, and it all got stamped into historical records. So pretty soon, all of you are going to be getting some kind of communication from One Love saying, hey, log into here and just verify that you were the artist and that you exhibited at the Canvas 3.0. And then on my side, as a curator, I then double sign and say, yes, I verify as a curator that this was legitimate and they did exhibit.
That's
And
what
so,
we need.
You know, and they're amazing. They're basically providing that to us complimentary because we, had them visible at our event, and there's just so much overlap. So yeah, they were an amazing sponsor. Thank you.
So the week wasn't over because on Thursday, this is only Wednesday.
Keep
guys.
going.
We're not even.
It's like part one, part two, part
Yeah, we're
three.
gonna have a series.
The sequel, bro. We're gonna have to do like
It was insane, and then on Thursday it was the first time we had the chance to speak at NFT NYC, and to me that was a beautiful experience. Having been able to share with you guys, like family, and so many other people. Like I met as soon as I walked out of that, because these interviews or the use of these spaces go quick. As soon as I got out, I started talking to a bunch of people. So shout out to Anna, Stacy, and for hosting, but also for sharing the panel with us. It was amazing. It was an amazing experience. That's what we came here for. How did you feel about speaking in New York? Was it like every day?
Speaking in New York, I
Then
feel like
breakfast?
I had amazing because I was too excited about Times Square, then about the mural.
Yeah.
Then I saw they were sharing in the screens a picture of me painting live there at the NFT NYC event too. And I feel like I've been really spoiled by this event. So when I went to the speakers panel, I started talking about my path as an artist, like everything that that I've done since I decided to join the community or the Web3 community as an artist. Man, I got really emotional. Like everything that came down to me, I'm like, yeah, this is really happening. So I feel that was an amazing art. Like for me, it was kind of a kind of closure of that day. And on Friday.
Hold on, Thursday I also spoke for the first time.
Yeah.
So before Thursday was done, so like I was there on Thursday feeling the same thing. It was the first time actually I spoke, and it was so exciting. You know, like I felt your passion when you're on stage and be able to share your experience. I really realized like the power of storytelling. Sometimes that's all you need to do to change the world is just share your story. And my panel was the point of view of the subject in NFT photography. So as a model, I felt very isolated, right? There's never the understanding of that as a model or as like an art form. And being able to share that, and then case studies that we've done, Crypto has, which is a generative collection, and we've done like Nifty Gateway, we have like put like 13 collections there. And when you're working, you don't realize like what you're doing because it's like you just go in. But then I felt the closure where you're just there and you're like, oh my God, like this has been the journey. And then it sort of feels like a completion, right?
Yeah.
And then sort of like, okay, let's sort of like keep going, but then it's like a weight off our shoulders. And then community-wise, I also felt like that was just
Amazing.
a cherry on top. So I felt that too.
Yay.
Awesome. I was gonna say about Friday that we had a really good time. Like all our friends, we just came over and
It was on Friday or
On Monday.
Oh,
No,
no,
it's
that's
on
like,
Monday.
Yeah, so that's go
I
back.
spoke on the first day, so I came. I forgot what day it was. I spoke
on
on
the
the
first
first
day.
I spoke on the first day of the event, and it was like a 15-hour flight, and it was like a 7-hour layover, and I literally got from off the Uber and walked into the room, and all my fellow panelists were out there already, and there was an empty seat with a microphone on top of it. And they were like, "Oh, here he is," and I'm like, "Here I am." But besides that, I think it went really well because I've spoken a couple places before, and my aim this year was to actually make a concise and coherent presentation. There was something that I wanted to say, and there was a message that I actually wanted to deliver, and I wanted to be calm about it while I said it. And I think I did really well, and I think I got the point across. And then I also read the room, and I can tell when people's eyes are focused on what I'm saying and they're actually paying attention to what I'm saying, whether they're just staring around waiting for it to be over. And I think I did really well in that aspect, as when I spoke, people were actually paying attention to the information that I was giving, which is really straight to the point. This is how I do my provenance for my artwork. This is how I use the blockchain. This is how I onboard community. It's like really the points that I wanted to get across. And I think I did really well. So really, an hour after the event started, my event was over. So I was like, all right, let's just hang out. Let's just see the boys do their thing. And I was really networking from there on out. But I had a great experience. I was really calm and a lot more than I usually am before. I just jump all over the place and go from one topic to the other. But this time I was very prepared. So that's awesome.
And focus, I feel like all these like kind of technical parts are amazing. But on Friday we get like, a little bit to like rest, like to chill out. We went there. The One Love community was taking pictures of all the artists on the screens, like a really big job. It's not that easy. So
I don't think people realize
We're everywhere.
you have to make a line. You have to the other artists who are waiting in the line start like looking at you really bad.
The other artist, Chaz, the other artist.
Chaz was kicking people out.
So did it every day of the conference, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, they're trying to hit it up. And because obviously that was the thing that I really wanted to do, right? Because there's a lot of people, like it's a, how do I say, it's a luxury to be able to come to something like this, right? Like not everybody has the opportunity to be able to travel here from a different country. It's expensive, bro. It's expensive to like get a hotel here, the transportation, you're eating, so it's really tough to get here. And there's so many people in our community that were able to have the honor to get their stuff exhibited, but they had no way to get here. And maybe opportunity for the future, maybe there'll be something that they could do in the event, right? To be able to maybe have like a stream or something, and you can see your stuff here, maybe more screen, maybe use the space a little bit better, but because of that, I wanted to be like, all right, let me try and go and get as many of the pictures of the artists as possible, because that's that joy they can get from that, like, damn, somebody took the time, thought about me, and like took a picture of my artwork, so I could like show this and share it with my family, with my friends, so that was important. I wanted to make sure I did that, but it was for people that weren't there. It's like they literally had just one wall, 5 screens that you could change, and actually most of the time one of them was broken or whatever. Like some of the stuff wasn't working too well, and then 2 iPads where you would go and sometimes the line was like 10, 12, 15 people. So you had to make the line, and if you try to put in more than one name, people start looking at you like.
Yeah.
Hold up! I'm gonna put on the other screen. You gotta go make the line again and come back. So it's it was tough, but I feel like then Jenny also like came in and stepped up. I wanted to give a big shout out to Sierra Juju Mama, who also was there. Like she was helping out like tons of people. Chad the last day also was there. Going in line. And he set up a whole system with Cam and all right. I'm gonna go and put the names in. You go take the picture. So luckily we were able to get a lot of people from the community, their artwork, take a picture, videos.
A lot. Easily within the hundreds, I would say.
Yeah, easy.
Because just the list that I had divvied up between 3 people was close to 100. I had requests from my DMs and IG, requests from Twitter, and I was like, oh, I'm getting
that was a lot.
I need to organize this and delegate it. So I gave some to Luco, some to Cam, some to Carlos, and they just went at it. And I made a tweet about how like a rising tide raises all ships. So like for us, we want to share that experience. We get joy from seeing the joy of other people. So yes, it was time consuming and yes, it was at times a little bit friction because, there's a lot of One Love people and plenty of other people who want to use the monitors as well. But we got it done, and it was good. It was really good.
Yeah, it was rewarding to do that and help the community out. And and the other thing that was really cool is I think getting to go see like people in the community speak, like going to see your speech, you guys talking. Sierra's speech, that was really cool, to kind of experience that, be able to take some footage from that, and so that was really cool.
And actually, real quick, I just wanted to mention that John Carlos spoke. He was one of the speakers at the Oculus Campus 3.0 One Love exhibition, and maybe you could just touch on this briefly, but can you tell people about Coin Coffee? And why Coin Coffee is so important because it bridges Web 2 and Web 3.
Yeah. So well, first of all, I think like that event on Monday was so awesome. Right? The One Love Art DAO, getting to exhibit all those artists, and I was so glad that because Coin Coffee is something that I started working with like. It feels like already like it's been like 2 years, but really it's been only like 5 months. But like Web3, everything feels like it's like much longer. But one thing that attracted me to the company, right, was the mission and like the ethos behind it, right? And I saw a lot of overlaps between like what they wanted to do, what we do with some of our spaces, and even what One Love likes to do as well, right? Which is all about like empowering, supporting, artists, right? And what's really cool with the brand is that so this is like an established, was an established company, coffee roaster that has like close to like 20 years of relationships with growers like all over the world, right? They were already selling coffee. But they wanted to now start doing like partnerships with like individual artists and giving those people the opportunity to have like their art showcased like on the coffee bag, and that every time something gets sold, they're giving a big cut of the sales to the artist, right? So it's a great opportunity for artists to be able to branch out beyond just NFTs and Web3, but also put their brand and thing onto like a physical product that people use every day. Like I drink a shit ton of coffee all the time. Like I've been drinking coffee since I was a little kid. And la botella, the bottle, I was already being like fed coffee, and like it's just something that was part of my culture, part of my life. These guys understand it, fellow Colombians here, Latinos, in Costa Rica. So coffee is sacred.
Puerto Rico, Colombia,
República
Dominicana.
Colombia,
Costa Rica.
Okay.
Todo café.
Puro
café.
café.
Exactly.
Exactly, yeah. So it was a cool thing. It was a way to like support artists, and also I told them like, all right, I gotta try this stuff, see if it's good. They sent me a box. I tried them all, and I was like, yeah, this is like legit high quality stuff, and it was really cool. I've been able to, I worked with them to like help select a group of artists to showcase for like a season we did last year, and I was very intentional also about trying to get good representation, because that's important, right? Like, so I didn't want it to be just like a very well established, artist and that's it, right? Like, and we did get some. We got a Pop Wonder, who's a freaking legend, Web 2, Web 3, to partner with us. Amber Vittoria was also, pretty much a legend with a lot of partnerships. But I was like, I also want to get Latino. I want to get so I wanted to get some other representation. So I was really glad that I was able to get Willie Martinez, who's a dear friend of ours. Afro Latina, in there as well, who also makes amazing artwork, amazing human being. Buddy Edom as well, who couldn't make it to NFT NYC, but we got him also as part of that as well, and then our friend Alyssa Stevens. So wanted to get a good mix, good representation in that, and then we launched recently another season as well, and we're going to continue to do that every 3 months. So trying to get a group of 5 other artists to bring along. I was told before we couldn't have international ones, but now we're going to open it up to other people. So I'm hoping to be able to bring some more people from the community in. We have a pretty international community, but so now we're going to try to open it up to other people. And it was cool, yeah. So I got to speak a little bit about that on Monday, share a little bit more about the vision, and we brewed 4 gallons worth of coffee that night and gave out over 100 cups of coffee to people. Yeah, 4 gallons of coffee. So my buddy Curtis, big up props to him. Dude was like a machine, bro. He had his scales going. He had the little bit kettle. Dude was pouring over like da 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 da, like nonstop. Yeah. He grabbed all the coffee the night before, brought the jug of water, and we were just nonstop, man, for hours. Yeah, like this.
What's cool that what's really cool that I remember you telling me this, that each artist had a say, had to get to try and say, oh, this is my blend. This is the one that speaks most to, I guess, my personality or my art, but that those bags are in a physical supermarket. Is that correct?
That's true too. Yeah, so that's another cool thing about bridging, Web 3 to physical is that the company mainly has been selling now through that brand, the Coin Coffee, online, right? But they got a partnership now with a grocery chain, grocery market. So they actually now have the bags in grocery stores as well. And they've done a lot of physical stuff, in the store. So they did some stuff similar to what we did at the event, right? Where they literally just stood there, had coffee tasting, and then they were telling people the stories of the artists as well. Nice. So people would come in, they'd be like, hey, you look at these bags, there's actually all these different types of artwork where there's actually artists behind this art. They would tell the stories about it, this is a Dominican artist and from New York, and so sharing a little bit about the story, and all that, and what they're doing, and so then people are like, oh, that's cool. It's not just coffee and art, but there's a person, an artist, a story behind it. Exactly, yeah. It goes back to that. So we're trying to do more of the storytelling. We actually hired our buddy Nefemi, who's a good friend of ours that we have in our space, amazing writer. He joined our team as a storyteller to help us write stories and narratives for the artists, and that's some of the stuff that now we will share with the. I forgot to mention. So you buy the coffee, you also get an NFT of the artwork, and because we're trying to do something also where make it easy onboarding, we partner with this platform called Magnetic, and all that people have to do is you scan a QR code, you put your email. And they take care of setting up your wallet, all the stuff behind the scenes. So it's very transparent.
With the
label? Just the label. The thing that comes with the packaging, you scan it. It's got the record of you bought these 5 coffees, you bought these 3, and boom, they give you the NFTs associated with those artworks. And then you have so all of a sudden you have you're in Web 3 without even knowing you're in Web 3. You just go to the website.
You are an art collector without
without even knowing you're an art collector.
You take full ownership of the NFT if you want.
And you want to, exactly.
It's like a middle process.
Exactly. It's just
into the wallet.
Exactly.
If you want to bring a wallet,
and then you can take that and you can bring it out, and if you want to sell it in the marketplace, you can do it as well. So it's really cool. But it makes it so easy that if you don't want to go there, all you want is just I want to just see my little artworks here. You could do it like that too.
Ownership also.
Which, and we leverage that to be able to share content and stuff with people. So the artist can record something and be like, here, I'm going to share with people that that have the NFT. We did some giveaways. So for example, with Alyssa, who actually works out of this Studio 3, she did like 3 physical artworks.
We saw her.
And yeah,
Yeah.
so she made 3 physical pieces, and then we said, okay, we're gonna raffle these off to anybody who's purchased the coffee and claimed the
Actually, I had no idea it was you because she
Oh,
was like,
really?
yeah, she's right here in the artist room, right? And she was like, oh, I'm bringing this coffee, like peas, and she was going through because she does doodles, but she's amazing on this, so she's truly talented. I love the fact that it's artist centered.
Yeah,
I think that is so important because that's like, I speak a lot about human value, right? About like from the subject in photography, for example, like put in the name of the person in the metadata, right? Like who's the artist, like telling their story. I think that is really like the point of it. And then their participation, right? Like I would probably collect like all of these bags.
Yeah.
But yeah, we saw her doing it here, and she was just so excited to share it. Like, and then once it came out, like I'm seeing like the piece. I think she had it at Hug as well.
She did. She sold some actually. I was there.
Yeah.
This was really
I had
cool.
no idea it was you. Like now I'm like, what is this connection? That is amazing.
One love.
One love. That's it.
All connected.
Rising
bro.
tide raises all ships.
We should go to your next question. Talking about connection.
Content creation. Okay, so I think I'm going to go to Juan on this one, and we can go all around. Why is content creation so important for strengthening relationships and opening up doors for partnerships and collaborations?
Yeah, so last year when we came here, I realized, and this is something I talked about, right? I've been working in marketing for about 12 years. And I've been promoting brands and doing a bunch of events, but I've never done it about me. Like it's never been about me. So flipping that coin, as I like to call it, because it's the same thing at the end of the day. We started Road to NFT NYC with Zapata and Luco, where also came the Art Cartel, which is of course the 3 of us talking about what we're doing before we come to NFT NYC. But it became some sort of, I'll say like a big community. Now people join us every Monday from 7 to 8 on Spaces, on Twitter Spaces, X Spaces, and it's been great. So we want to keep sharing that, and the fact that we did that allowed us to create like a good channel with the guys at NFT NYC, and I think that allows us to use social media for what it's really like, which is not to put us away. A lot of people say that social media puts us away from people, but in this case we used it to really connect, with the guys at NFT NYC, to keep up with you guys through X Spaces. I say I talk to them more than I do with my fellow friends. It's like, what the hell? I'm talking with you guys, and it becomes like a family every day for whatever question I have. So we're using social media for what it's, I think, supposed to, to connect. So yeah, I truly believe on that, creating content.
Did you have anything you wanted to add?
Content creation is, my opinion, key. It's all about getting attention. It's all about, I always compare about back in the day, Vincent Van Gogh and all the classical artists, how they used to share their content. And they used to meet up in a cafe or whatever part of Spain that they would be in Paris or Amsterdam. And they would talk about their work. So they would congregate in a place which I think is very similar to Twitter, Instagram, a lot of social platforms that we have now where artists congregate to share their work. So the more that you put out creative content, the more that you talk about it and speak about it, the more attention you grab, the more eyes, visibility are on your artwork, which just leads to more collaborations, it leads to more sales, it leads to more opportunities. So really the name of the game is create as much content as you possibly can, put it out on many platforms as you can, and really try to connect with people that are doing the same thing that you're doing, or that interest what you're doing.
That creation, I think, opens a window for other artists. People see like the exhibitions, they see the screens, see the Times Square thing, but it's really cool to show people what is behind that. It's not just the accomplishments, it's not just the big things. It's like showing you, yeah, we're working really hard every day, we do this, the same as everyone. So it's kind of really cool and making it funny. Like, why not?
Yeah, have fun with it.
If you don't have fun with doing whatever you do, why do it? So
Do something else.
yeah, we do it. I have to catch up in a lot of creation of content because I've been enjoying everything. I do.
It's so present.
You've been here, you've been doing
I'm all the time like recording things that I think people will be interested to see, like, not just like me getting out of the limo, of the limousine. No, yeah, it's more like, no, I mean, we were like eating a bagel in a park. I'm like, this is really genuine. This is happening.
Yeah.
This is to show people you don't come here to New York like to be driven or around like a rock star. No, you come here
You're walking
Well,
around the
yeah.
streets,
Yeah.
you know, like, yeah.
to fall asleep in the metro, to get lost in the
To fall asleep
metro.
on the rooftop.
It's a lot of work, and yeah, I think it's about sharing what we're doing, but also sharing how we're doing it. So that's Road to NFT NYC, and that's the Art Cartel, and I think we're gonna keep going with that. So yeah, very important content creation. It's part of what we're doing now.
Right.
Yeah.
You know,
It's a differentiator. Like I do
Yeah.
feel like one of the connections is to be genuine in content creator, right? Because there's so many masks that we can wear and so many hats that we wear because we do so much, right? But being authentic, being vulnerable, like showing the things that maybe like we feel like a little scared of sharing. Like for me,
Yeah.
that's been like a big part of like owning my identity. Because as a model, I'm seen as like this brand, the other brand, and so I have makeup, like clothing. But then when I'm like who am I? That's like one of my biggest questions, right? Like, what is my purpose? What am I here for? What am I grateful? Like those things to me are always like my drivers behind content. Whenever it's like myself, right? And like I think of the self a lot. Like who is the self? Like where is this creator coming from? And it always ends up in like spaces that are driven by love and healing. So like I feel like that has been like such a nice thing to see collectively, like
Yeah.
that love is healing, right? And it's not perfect, and we might be like it's actually so messy and chaotic. Like that's how creation is. And to be able to see all of that without feeling judged or bullied, which you mentioned, like having that barrier and a community to feel protected, to be who we are, I think it's so powerful.
Yeah, I love that.
Amazing. Did you have anything you wanted to add about content?
Yeah, no, I mean, I wanted to kind of play a little bit on what Carolina was saying. You know, I think it's so important for people I think it's important for people to share, right? Especially like we were talking about being vulnerable, sharing like the other sides of it, like not just the highlight reel and the glamour, but like the work, the struggle sometimes, because it helps other people also feel like they're maybe not alone. And there's a lot of times where I'm sure all of us, right, collectively have felt like shit. I feel like I'm failing, or maybe I'm not selling this, or I'm not doing that, or whatever. But then when people are willing to like put out content or share things, it makes them feel kind of like, okay, like we're all kind of in this together collectively, right? I'm not alone. I'm not the only person like feeling this or doing that. So I think it definitely helps with like building like legitimate, like real connections with other people, which I think is so cool. The other thing too is, you know, like the spaces that we do, right? Where we make it a point to like interview and get to know people on a more personal level, and hear stories and see people's like journeys and, you know, how they've gotten where they are. They could also be like very inspirational for people. Like it was for me. Look, I loved making art when I was a kid. I, you know, kind of got away from it because of like many people were told like, no, you can't make a living with art. You know, you got to go get like a real job or shit like that. And then, but then you hear like these stories from people, you know, like, you know, we started interviewing people, hearing all these stories and people that like were able to turn that passion into reality, into something. And also like learning that like it's not easy either, right? Like some of the people also, they hustle, or like even the people that are very successful in this space are also doing merch and this and doing partnerships, like things with Point Coffee, you know, like, you know, but it shows that there's a path, a way to do it, and it can help inspire other people who have this creative passion that want to do something like that. Like, oh, it can be done. It's possible, right? So I think that's why like creating this content, sharing these stories is so important, because it really helps show the realm of what's possible for other people, right? It helps to feel connected and make those connections, which then, to the other part of the question, can lead to other opportunities. Like that's part of why I even ended up doing some of this stuff with Point Coffee, was because I was putting out content. My buddy was like, "Oh, you really well connected with the art scene." I was like, "Yeah, and I love coffee too." Okay, cool. Let's talk. Let's partner. So
Like coffee?
yeah.
Like,
Oh yeah. Let's work. Like what? Right.
Yeah.
Cool. Let's work together.
And I love that it's like collab. Because I
Yeah.
think back to like influence and mentality, it's very much like, what am I getting out of this?
Yeah.
Right? Like, okay, I'm gonna post, but are you gonna pay me? Or I'm gonna
Yeah.
post, and you know, there's like a whole market out of that, and
Yeah.
there's like people that live like that.
Sure.
And I think like that's obviously like a way of making a living. It's like the creator's economy. Like we need that in a way, but I love how Web3 is more like that isn't so present. Like it's more like, okay, like we already know. It almost like a knowing, like I'm sharing, you're sharing. Like
Yeah.
no one's like, or at least that's the intention. I think like the utopia would be amazing if we could like keep growing and creating in that way where then everything, like abundance comes, but it's because of all of this collaboration
All this
that's
collaboration,
happening.
and everybody
so
brings
fast.
something else, different
Yeah.
skills to the table. Although like what Saka was mentioning like earlier this week, like you guys in your group, each of you brings like different strengths. You guys play together, and you collaborate so well, and you're able to accomplish so many things because you're each bringing something to the table, unique skill sets, and just collaborating together. And then that group is then partnering with other groups. We're just all growing and expanding together.
It's always like that. It's all about collaborating. And like you, Zapata said this to me a long time ago, but I mean, it's not like I hadn't heard it, but I live by it now. And instead of going to a community like, hey, what do you got for us? It's been like, yo, this is what we do. And you want to do it in Costa Rica, you want to do it in New York, you want to do this, you want to do that. So bringing something to the community really creates a community. If not, it's just like, I don't know, begging.
Being
I don't know what that
proactive.
means. Yeah.
That's
Being
how
proactive.
it works.
Yeah.
The Web3 community works like that. You bring something to add to the table, and there are more people bringing up stuff, so they grow together. It's not like when you think about, I'm creating my community. When I heard that the first time about Web3, I was like, how am I gonna create a community around me? Like, who's gonna be following me for what I do, and I don't know, is that like a fan base or something?
Like a cult?
Do I stand in the middle? Do I have to dance?
Yeah, we have like a secret handshake and stuff. Secret sound like up to quotations or something like that. No, I'm like, but then I understood that part. I'm like, okay, now I can explain it to the people who ask me, hey, what's the deal with this, that you have to have a community? No, you don't have to have a community. You have to belong to a community.
Be a part of it.
Yeah.
Add to it, yes.
Yeah, love it.
Goodness, well, what a way to wrap it up, I think, on that note. Does anybody have any closing thoughts that they wanted to contribute about NFT NYC 2024?
I wanted to say thank you, New York, but thank you, Jenny Pepin. So I don't know if we could all just. Jen was a big part of New York being so cool. So thank you.
Oh, you're very welcome. It was my pleasure, and honestly, like I get inspiration from you guys on a daily basis. I wouldn't even be Siren AI if it wasn't for my friends and the people around me who I draw daily inspiration from. So proud of all of us. Proud of myself. I'll say it. I usually don't. But infinitely proud of everyone at this table and listening, and everybody who did their part and did something during this week.
Yeah, I'm just very proud of everybody that got exhibited here, everybody that made it out here. Also we didn't talk about Luco, but dude has also been making great, just amazing progress in his art career, and he had the honor yesterday of being at F-Dot's Canal Street show, which was amazing, and I'm just really proud of everybody, what everybody's doing, helping to elevate the space. I look back, from where people were a year ago at NFT NYC, where they are now, and it's like, it's amazing to see that, people that were here just as spectators before, and coming maybe to support another friend, all of a sudden now being in the spotlight and all that, and paving the way for the next generation of people to do it next time. So just mad love to everybody, and thank you guys also for being here today to share and talk about this and recap, and it's been an awesome experience.
Thank you for the invitation for this moment. You guys, you have it for these spaces. You have to bring people together. You have been really good, and thank you for the invitation. Thank you guys for the space.
Yeah, thank you guys.
So nice.
It was so nice to meet you too.
Oh, I'm so excited.
Yeah.
I'm super excited, and it's really, it feels like your win is my win. Like I get so happy genuinely for others. Like it just pours out of me. It's like in my culture, like we just pura vida, we are. It's like it's energy, and whenever you're good, it truly expands. I can feel that so much, and also anyone in Latin America watching, like I really want to speak more Spanish. Like I miss it so much, and so excited with your New York. And I would love to
maybe we can do a space in Spanish too.
And for people to join and not be afraid of asking questions. right? Like, there's nothing to be embarrassed of. I think like that's one thing that blocks a lot of people to get in this space. Like, I want to be dumb, or what is this for geeks? Like, not at all.
Yeah.
Like, this is like it's about the artistry, the soul, your journey. Everything else is secondary. So to step up if you're in Latin America.
See.
Love it.
Latinos.
See you on the
Latinos,
Latinos. Yeah, you guys. Thank you.
All right.
Anything else you guys want to say?
No, I was just say, stay consistent, stay disciplined. That's how we all met. I mean, I've done some amazing things this last 3 years, this last 3 months has just been amazing for me, just really. And I would dedicate it all to discipline and consistency. That's really it. If you want to learn how to do something, ask questions. You said it earlier. YouTube's out there.
Yeah.
Go to YouTube.
Google, get on
If
it.
you're too ashamed to ask
Yeah.
a question, pull out your phone and ask Google, ask Siri, what this is and this. Eventually, open up a fake account and ask someone else if you really feel that dumb. But find a good friend.
$1 Satoshi. You know?
The point is to ask the question, to continue to know, to stay disciplined and stay consistent in educating yourself, self-education, self-discipline, and then creation. That's
Yeah,
really,
I love that.
that's really
And that's good advice for everything in life.
everything.
Whether it's fitness, whether it's learning, you know, business, life. Yeah.
Life, approach life with mind,
Yeah.
soul, and body, and you should be
Attention,
fine.
consistency, dedication. Yeah.
Well, I love. Let me just play a song, you guys.
All
We're
right.
not just
Okay,
gonna-
yeah.
We're not just gonna close this out.
We're gonna
like
start.
that.
Bobby here.
Yeah, let's go.
Aguardiente.
Yeah, the one.
Like la botella de guava.
Is that it?
Yes.
Wait, this is one version. That's not the
Jazz in New York
Like
version.
that,
I think this is like the classic, right? Yes.
That's
yeah.
it.
That's it, yeah.
That's it.
And with that, one love.
From New York.
Thank you, New York.
New York City, thank you.
Gracias.
I'll see you next year. Out.
One heart.
También tiene playa ya, ¿no?
Get together and feel alright.
What is it?